Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hibernating Unknown Girl Society, the only Unknown Armies 3rd edition Welcome to the Party role-playing game, actual play, streaming thing, where a beautiful non-binary them, dressed like a cat, will mix you drinks, while another cat will track down and eviscerate your enemies, but also possibly your friends. It's not clear. This is possibly true. We are welcome to the party, and I'm going to read the opening spiel stuff. First of all, we have some sponsors. They're awesome. Thank you to our sponsors. We got Tabletop Loot. We got Devin Rue, Mistress of Maps, and we have So Nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear. And we also have Roll20. Go, do that. We're sponsored by them. They run your tabletops out of the browser. They have everything you need to play. It's good stuff. We also have a Patreon that supports the channel and supports us. It funds the artists and the writers and the community. We're trying to create a sort of PBS of role-playing game, actual play, streaming stuff. It's going to be awesome. We also have a Discord. If you want to play with the server, it's the best place to go. It's also an amazing, inclusive place where you can go and meet lots of pretty unique people. Now, we have our players. And also, before I forget, because it's very important and we wouldn't be functional without this, we have Andy, our producer, who makes this all work so you can see my beautiful face and everyone else's. Andy is wonderful.
Thanks,
And
Andy.
Thank you.
going around, wait a sec. I'm seeing the will begin in 11 minutes, so I know that's not right. So I'm going to just refresh the page. Let's see what happens.
That's just your computer.
I can. Are we live on Twitch or is it?
Yes.
We're
All right.
totally live.
I am well versed in creative acts of user error, so I don't know I don't know what. Wait, there we go. All right. Now I'm getting an ad. So you know what? I'm just going to go from memory. So let's start with Adora.
Hello, my name's Connie O, and I'm playing Adora, a trash witch who just can't wait to make magic out of your trash.
And tell us, there we go. I can see everybody now. Adora, what do you look like?
Adora is very short, very tiny. They have jet black skin with a poof of hair that goes off to one side, shaved down on the other. They are wearing a mismatch of really torn up holy goth clothes, very baggy, hiding their body, and they're carrying around some kind of trash. Depending on where they are, it's either like clipped to their fanny pack or a giant black bag slung over their shoulder.
Cool. Adora, how old do you look?
They look younger than they are. They're 18 years old, but they could easily pass for 16.
Cool. And for a living, if I recall, you are a hairstylist.
That's correct.
We're going to start taking a look at that once we get through in the meeting everybody. Up next, we have Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Alexis, and I play Elizabeth Dual Aisling, who is also a witch, but more of the new age kind of witch. They are hoping that we are not going to be fighting anyone, and if we do, she's going to be brave and run away.
Sorry.
And what you got to understand, this is a game where the start of the combat section is how to avoid combat.
I understand.
Combat is bad. Adora still hasn't fully healed from the one time she got hit. They got hit the other day.
From 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was only a couple days ago in game.
Well, right. I meant from that episode.
Yeah. But yeah, no, actually, I think you just now healed up. Like it's now like a visible bruise, but not so bad because of the magic.
Yay.
Elizabeth, what do you look like?
So Elizabeth looks like if Goth just ran through a mall and picked random shit up. she tends to wear sport hoodies and a long, foot-long skirt and some bangles, probably some very unnecessary flashy plastic earrings, stuff like that. And when she's in presenting herself as her work, as her spiritual healing work, she also wears the witch hat.
Cool. And if I recall, your day job is spiritual healer,
Yes, that's correct.
including to our party's best friend, Jaquette Mayes.
Best friend is overstating.
Yeah, that was sarcastic.
At least Alexis gets how I feel about you guys.
I had to deal with her, so just saying.
I really want to do that scene at some point, just because
Oh, boy.
we've never seen that, and I think that would be interesting.
Oh boy, yep, sure.
Next, we have Minerva.
Hey, I'm Persephone, and I play Minerva.
And what does Minerva look like?
Minerva is just this very big lady, like 6'4", long, curly red hair, just absolute huge mime vibe. She's also the totally undisputed leader of the group. Totally,
There is a
100%.
big dispute on that one.
No
No,
disagreement
there's
at all.
really not.
Sure.
And,
No, there really is.
and I forgot to ask this
Don't
of
worry about
Elizabeth.
it.
How old does Elizabeth look? 24, 25, right?
Somewhere late 20s, yes.
And then how old does Minerva look?
Like 26.
26. Okay. And as we all know, the oldest is in charge.
That's not how this is going to work.
Yeah.
It totally is.
And then
totally won't, but okay.
now I don't know if I know what Minerva does to make ends meet money wise.
She
Mhm.
party tricks.
Not just party
A
tricks.
party clown
Oh, yeah.
for hire.
She celebrates life at birthday parties. That's
It seems like that's how you spend most of your time is
Yeah.
adeptry. So I'm curious about that. And we might not know. It might be a secret.
I think it might be a secret for now.
Cool. And then Mara. Tell us
Hi.
about Mara real quick.
Hi, my name's Theater Nerd. Mara is a 20-year-old eco-activist, face of the movement, college student. I feel like that's an important descriptor to give her.
Mm-hmm.
And she will fight Minerva on her being the leader.
Okay.
I mean, I think you'll fight Minerva on anything.
Yeah.
I
it
think
seems like.
what happened is you fucked up big.
I did not fuck up. Thank you very much.
All right.
You didn't realize it at the time.
The point is, everyone knows Pebble the cat is the actual leader, right?
Probably.
Yes.
And who summoned
Maybe.
Pebble? That was Elizabeth.
So Elizabeth is the leader.
Yes.
No.
Anyway, moving on. So I think we already know how old you are, Mara. And in terms of making ends meet, I believe that you live off of your inheritance from your grandmother.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Now, you actually live with your girlfriend Zara at this point.
Yep.
What happened to your grandmother's house?
Exploded.
No,
It's possible.
it didn't. I think it's there. I think it actually wasn't in. Well, okay, so I wanted to run this past you.
Sure.
I think actually where they're living, and I think I might have said it was an apartment, but I actually think it was her grandmother's house, left much in the same state. But I also think she got left the family like cabin in the woods as well. Just to throw another location and wrench into your story.
I'm sure nothing bad ever happened at the cabin in the woods.
Mm,
All right.
Well, it's like a cottage on a lake. There are probably other people around. Not that that makes it any better.
All right, so let me double check that I've got all of the stuff covered. I do. Did someone hit the at Patreon and the at all that stuff? Did that come up?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Because I missed. I was still loading the video and having trouble because I am on top of my game. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. So I want to open up with Adora working at the hair place, which I think I picked a name for, or you picked a name for, but I don't know if we agreed on a name.
Oh goodness, I don't know if we ever did.
So if you have a name, I could probably deal with that. But you know what? I just called it Salon. Ha! So I didn't pick a name.
I thought we were going with a hair pun like hair today, gone tomorrow.
That would be in line with some of the other businesses we went with, like Wheat Don't Tell Me, which is my favorite.
Did they sell?
Anything?
I need to watch last week's episode. Apparently,
It was good. We had a good time.
Lots of stuff happened. We met some new characters that have been around for a while, but didn't say anything before. We met Max and Rosamund, who are Jaquette's enforcers. Who I am
didn't meet Leonora yet.
Oh, and Leonora. Leonora was a character who showed up. We met McConnery, the head of the coven that Adora hates. We met a bunch of people. And
cool.
Taco Man Steve.
Taco Man. He was fun.
Taco Man.
I need to rewatch it because I can't remember my voice for Taco Man. And he doesn't want to be involved in the plot, but that doesn't mean he gets to decide if that's what happens. So, do you have a name for the place, Adora, or do you want me to come up with one on the fly?
You said that you were calling it Salon. Let's call it Sail On. And that's part of why Adora hates it, because it makes no sense for a hair place to be called Sail On.
Like,
does it have a nautical motif?
Yeah, there's like those
that sounds good.
The wheels at the helms of boats and like rigging all over the ceiling.
Let me introduce you to your boss. So we're going to test this out and see how it goes. I'm hitting show to players on Heyron. I think I'm pronouncing it right, which is the boss of Sail On. Did it show up for everyone?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. That is Heyron, who is dating a coven member. Adora, you know this because you really hope that Sophia Conrad, prominent member of the coven, never shows up, because then they would find out about your current best friend, who I'm thinking you're doing someone's hair and they're basically unconscious while you're talking to the spirit in the mirror very quietly. How does that sound?
Sounds perfect.
What I want to know is, how does Stray, that's the name of the spirit unless you overrule me.
Nope, it's great.
How does Stray communicate to you? Is it blood on the glass?
I love that, actually.
All right. It's blood on the glass. Do you have to wipe it off, or does it clean itself so it can add more messages?
It cleans itself. It kind of drips. There's like a constant drip of blood from the top of the mirror, and it weaves itself into words and then drips away and then drips new words in its place. But at the same time, there's psychic shouting. So every time words appear, it's just like, "Wah!" right into Adora's mind.
Now, can everyone else hear that, or only if Stray feels like it?
Only if Stray feels like it.
All right. So this is what Stray is starting your conversation off by saying. Let me pull this up. It's basically saying the words appear and the psychic scream appears in your mind, and the words say, "I demand an offering," or "I'm going to mess up this nautical theme and make it all dead calm in here." Now, if you're not familiar with the movie Dead Calm, and this is still it writing and in the screen, And then it describes the plot of a kind of creepy, I think it's a Tom Cruise Murder on the High Seas flick where they're being stalked by someone. I don't know. Anyway. And it keeps writing over it, and then the bottom of the thing becomes very, very bloody and illegible, and it wipes itself clean and it evaporates, and it says, I demand an offering, or I'm telling Hayron. Hayron, meanwhile, is on the phone with her girlfriend.
Oh, God, Stray. What do you even want? What kind of offering are you talking about?
Powerful magic to sustain me, or freedom from this blasted mirror.
I keep asking you how to free you from these mirrors, and you won't tell me.
Well, you won't let me into your body.
Well, of course not. You're an asshole.
I'm not an ass.
Why are you screaming at me all the time then?
You summoned me in this form. I should do it in the voice. You summoned me in this form, and it's really bad.
You won't tell me how you get out. You keep saying, just let me in and I'll get myself out. No.
Open your mind to me, and I will go and have a taco, and everything will be fine. I want to watch a movie and relax. Let me in.
Oh, I am not letting you possess my body.
Form.
I mean, I really didn't.
The ritual you used chose my form.
Okay, so what if I put you in somebody else's body? How do I do that?
The easiest way is get them to open their mind to me.
Right. What exactly does opening their mind mean then?
I flow into their body and take control.
No, I
like
know that.
In a nice way.
Sure, very nice.
I'm a nice person.
Oh my God, Stray, shut up.
I can't. It's not my fault, okay? I have resting, aggressive voice.
Okay. You're still not telling me how I get their mind to open. I understand what's going to happen when they do. I just don't know how to do it.
Well, okay, do you ever listen to guided meditation?
Oh my God, that sounds like my fucking foster parent. What the hell, man?
All you got, they say, open your mind and let the feelings. It's like that, but let the demon in. It's very easy.
Okay, so I'm hearing that I need to take over the sound system in here and do some guided meditation that everyone will listen to, and they'll just open their mind, and I can just put in earplugs, right?
That would work, possibly, if they open their mind. Or the person you're cutting the hair for right now, just slip a little bit of a drug in their mouth. They'll go unconscious, and then I can fly in easy. It's not a problem.
Okay. One, I don't have any drugs on me right now, which is, I must acknowledge, very unsatisfying.
The future sucks.
Yes, I agree. At least we could agree on that, Stray. So, what kind of drugs would even make a person pass out?
Well, anything that relaxes or lowers the inhibitions. Heavy drinking would be sufficient, but I would prefer something a little more, special.
Oh, goodness. Sounds like time for some MDMA.
That would be... I don't know. I've never experienced it, but that sounds lovely. I was promised a utopian future of all-you-can-eat buffets, midnight movie screenings, and drugs, and that's all I want.
Wow. Where'd you get that deal?
It shuts up.
Adora feels like they've accomplished something.
All right. And so I'm going to say this, as you're finishing up your shift, you get one last shot from Stray going, don't forget, or I'm making a mess.
MDMA. I got it, Stray.
It gives you a bloody thumbs up image in the mirror. And at this point,
that it just did coughs in blood on the mirror.
Yeah. It doesn't like the voice it has. This reminds me of something really important that I need to go back and mention, which is the content warnings for this. This is an adult game in the sense of like it's Unknown Armies. Bad stuff can happen. So, for example, we don't have in our line getting a demon to possess someone. That's okay right now, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Someone might have a problem with that. So here's our list of lines and veils. There will be no animals getting hurt. There will be no sexual assault. There will be no time loss due to psychological reasons. There'll be no relationship gaslighting. And that's all stuff that we've just hardcore said is not a part of this game. We also are using script change, which is a system of mechanics for fast forward, rewind, stop. I'm assuming the players are conversant in this by this point. Is that correct? Or should I review it really quickly just because?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
All right. The most important is just be willing to say stop or pause, and we will revisit anything that happened in the game. We can stop it or we can skip past it. It's not a problem. Just use the respective safety tools. That's what we're doing. Because we have a lot to get through, I hope this is okay that I'm doing a shorter version of that. Heyron never speaks to you as you are leaving. So, because they're still on the phone with their girlfriend. All right. So I think we're done there. I think next I'm going to go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, what's up? Let's see what we got for you that sounds fun. This is session 4. Oh, right. I wanted to start off with Jaquette coming in for what possibly could be your last spiritual healing session with her. How does that sound?
Sure.
All right. So she tries to schedule it and she's kind of nervous. And so, but you let her schedule it. It all goes okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so here is the lovely Jaquette. Jaquette Mayes comes in. She follows the usual thing. She's a very different presence when she's coming to see you for spiritual healing than she is when she was at opening night or the soft opening. She's not nearly as aggressive, though she does radiate confidence and self-assurance.
Mm-hmm.
And she sits down with you. Why don't you tell us about what it looks like when you're doing your spiritual healing? Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm. So I described it once, but I'll go back to the room again. So she lives in an apartment, and her living room has been transformed into a very calm, atmospheric place with decorated, like star decorated window shutters. There's like a variety of decoration just hanging from the ceiling, and whenever there's customers in, she would light like 24 candles, at least one of them scented, and there's a mini stereo just playing very generic new age music. And so the light provided is exclusively by the candles. There's a couple of pillows to sit down to, and there's also like a table meant for like relaxing on. If I mean, I say table, more like a stretcher, I suppose, meant for relaxing on if people choose one of those types of therapies.
Okay. And what do you normally do first with Jaquette when she comes in?
With Jaquette, I would beckon her to sit down in the pillows at the table, and I would offer her. She always likes her ginger tea.
Cool. I like that a lot. I mean, I personally love ginger tea, so. One of the things that she almost always asks about first is who is she not taking care of? And that's not a mob euphemism. That's who is she neglecting? Who isn't getting the care they need? And that's one of the things she always is coming to you for. And I don't know how you approach that question, but I'm curious how you would guide her in that.
I would ask her, has anything in the past week happened that you think was important in your life, in your surroundings?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell me about it?
You got to keep it to yourself, right? Like this.
Confidential as always, yes.
Well, there's no legally binding stuff for spiritual healers.
No, but there's also the aspect of, professionalism.
All right. Real quick, Mara, do you mind if I name your parents?
I don't have any issue with that.
Are they are a heterosexual couple or a homosexual couple?
Heterosexual.
All right. I'm going to have them be Frank, short for Francis, and Veronica. Sound good?
Sure.
All right. Elizabeth, Jaquette says Frank and Ronnie's little girl is back. And she says that with a lot of meaning and doesn't elaborate. You don't know who those people are. Probably.
I'm going to suggest to elaborate. Are they a positive or a negative influence in your life?
Do you ever have people in your life that you were so entwined with for a long period of time that you can't even tell anymore if they were a positive or a negative influence or just a part of the life itself?
Yes, I know how that is. In that case, how do you feel about them right now?
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Frank and Ronnie because, look, I can't. When we talk, Elizabeth, we talk about the present. We don't talk about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
We try to look forward, yes.
And that's for the best for a lot of reasons. And I don't even know what happened to them, really. And all I know is after they went away, Ronnie's mom and took Mara and they just left us. And it was just us.
Well, it sounds to me like you'd like to help them anyway.
I guess. I mean, I owe them so much. But at the same time, this whole town took a lot of work to get things moving. And they turned their back on me to focus on their stuff. And so I don't, I built the committee from the ground up. I did it. Not alone, but I don't know how to feel. And now she's here. I don't know what she means. I did a reading. I would not be surprised if she tries to kill me. I wouldn't be surprised if we become allies in the end. But there's no way the two of us can talk civilly right now. And I'm not going to tell her. I don't know what she knows.
Jaquette, it sounds to me like you're holding on to a lot of resentment. Give me your hands, please.
Sure. And she reaches out and she gives you her hands.
And Elizabeth takes her hands and says, "You need to put away all this weight on your shoulders. When you act upon weight, you act as if you're like at the bottom of the ocean. You're not yourself."
Yeah. I feel possessed sometimes in those moments. And I can't be my best self unless I'm acting in the interests of the mission instead of this anger.
Well, sounds like you already know what you have to do.
Do my job, basically. And if your friends come, I'll try to play it nice. But I can't promise anything.
Well, let me see what the stars have for you ready. And she pulls out like a bowl of there's like a lot of plastic star trinkets inside,
Yeah.
but it's being presented with a lot of care as if it's important. And Elizabeth just rummages inside for a moment, pulls out like one of the baubles, and it's just like a keychain in the shape of a star.
Aw.
And she says, "You'll do just fine. You think you have to fight, but it's actually the opposite. You have to forgive and to just accept what the cosmos is giving to you. For the next week, you will be under the protection of the Hierophant."
Do you know that word? Do you know what that word means to me?
I can only assume.
It says something. That's telling. Are you handing her the bauble?
No, that's just for telling the truth. And she
Okay.
puts the bauble back in.
She accepts what you're saying, and she's like, I know what I need to do. I know how to move things forward in the way I want. And my priority has to be not my personal conflicts, but taking care of this place. I can't. The thing that's dangerous is not the inside, it's the outside. And I have to remember what I'm protecting us from and what I'm trying to do.
Seems to
sound-
me like the cosmos has spoken to you very clearly.
She says, I don't know if I can keep coming here, Elizabeth. I don't know what to do. I don't.
Chiquette, I'll miss you, but you sound like you're putting yourself under unnecessary pressure.
I don't think you know what it's like to be the final authority for such a large group of people.
That is correct, I wouldn't know it. But the cosmos does know, and it
And
feels with you.
I just can't. I want to be able to believe everything you say, but as long as Mara and I are at odds, I don't know if I would be able to hear it with an open mind. And you're young, but you have a gift. And I don't want to spoil that by giving you the temptation to misuse it, because I know all too well there could come a time where you would be tempted to advise me in a way that could bring us, you know, manipulate what you're saying because it's what you think is right instead of what you actually see. And I know you don't think you will, but it's a temptation. And I don't want to bring that to your gift. And that would make me sad.
I think the fact that you're thinking of me and of other people this thoroughly speaks for itself.
Are you calling me a good person? Because
You might not think of yourself as a good person, but that doesn't change facts.
well, at this, I think she stands up and starts gathering her things. The fact that you can see me as such now is worth something to me. It might be a little while before I come back to see you. But thank you.
Well, you know, you're always welcome here.
I'll remember that. And then she stands and goes to the door. You notice as she's leaving that Shay is staring at her and looks emotional. But I kind of want to fade out on that instead of exploring that. If that's
Ooh.
okay.
I mean, Elizabeth was just gonna like call for Shay and start complaining, but that's fine too.
Okay. You know what? Let's do that real quick. What does Elizabeth complain about?
Elizabeth is just like, why does every person think they're the center of the universe? This is ridiculous.
At that, Shay is going to crack up and be like, she certainly thinks she's important. And I think it's just kind of a laughing, commiserating sort of thing. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Minerva, you've got some options. So I don't know if there's anyone particularly interesting to you to have an opening scene with.
I mean, maybe like, volunteering at the old folks home or whatever, because we've mentioned that in previous episodes.
Okay. Let's see now. At the old folks home, when you arrive, the people are a little surprised that you're there.
Like the staff, or
The staff is surprised.
hey, what's up?
We heard that you weren't going to be volunteering here anymore.
No? Who'd you hear that from?
One of them's like, I heard it from Kim, who heard it from James, who heard it from. It was just kind of the rumor mill. And they're like, I don't know who first said it. That's, huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, we need the help. It's just.
Yeah.
We thought.
No. I'm definitely here.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot to do, and yeah, please come in. So how do you volunteer normally? What do you normally do at the old
I
folks home?
think probably just spending time with people, helping them out, and generally providing companionship.
Cool. I don't necessarily have any specific things to do there right now. Is it okay if we gloss over that, or do you want to?
No, that's totally fine.
Now, if I recall, also the old folks home is one of your sources for blood supply. Is that correct?
I thought oh wait, no, did we say that my dealer like worked out of that or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the thing, your dealer, who, how about their name is
I was gonna say Taylor.
Taylor. I don't have this person in, so I'm gonna have to add them next time. Taylor comes up and is like, "Look, I know I'm supposed to have something for you today, but they're keeping an eye on me for some reason, and I wasn't able to sneak anything away today. So,
Come on, man.
look, if I get caught, I won't be able to get you anything.
All right.
He looks around and he's like, I think someone higher up is trying to get in your way.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who, but they have these new safeguards for the blood supply here, and I haven't figured out how to work around them. I'll figure something out, but someone got nervous and your name was tossed around. And I don't know who it is. But by the way, out of game, you know who it is, right?
Yeah, it's Jaquette and the committee.
Yes. Just getting in your way, cutting things off. Because this place is in a major way run by and not completely run by the committee, but they're a big part of its operations on a day-to-day basis. They recognize volunteers.
Minerva's gonna have a few words for Atropos.
So Taylor's like, I will do my best, and I will get you something as soon as possible. And if I can't, I have an idea for someone at the hospital who might be able to hook you up instead.
Okay.
It might be a couple days, so I hope you're stocked. I don't want to know what you use it for, but I don't really care.
Hey, that's what the money's for, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, he passes you back a couple of small bills because he's like, you already paid and I can't provide. So we'll catch up when we can.
All right. Take care of yourself.
Cool. And then that's probably the end of that. For the last opening scene, I would like to... Mara, how often do you go to class?
Depends on what's going on.
Well,
I think more often than not, she goes to class.
Let's say you're sitting in class with Zara today. So I just put up Zara's picture.
Can I interject with something?
Sure.
Elizabeth would call Mara on her phone.
As soon as the scene with Jaquette ended?
A little bit after, yeah.
All right, I want to do this scene before you call, okay?
Okay.
Because these are all roughly about the same time, or things, and then we'll go to that. So Mara, you're in class with Zara. What class?
Probably some like women's and gender studies class. No. Actually, I lied. Environmental science class would make so much more sense.
And I don't necessarily have anything really smart to do here that I thought up. It just seemed to me like it would be a good scene to have them in class, even if it's just kind of establishing.
Okay.
But Zara does probably not want to pay attention today. And would probably rather go to the arcade.
I'm gonna assume they both have laptops out.
Yeah. Okay.
Taking notes. And Mara is gonna look for Facebook. Or look for Zara on Facebook. And we'll message like, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm antsy. I haven't done anything since we were away, and we haven't heard from Ogechi about any plans. So I'm bored, I guess. I don't know.
It would be very suspicious if we kept at things at a rapid pace.
Which is why instead we should go and blow stuff up at the arcade.
Well, can we like get out of class first?
That'd be easy. The door's right there.
No. Like I actually want to be an environmental scientist. Like that's why I'm taking these classes and pre-law and
Man,
actually want to change policy.
so you're the responsible one today.
I thought I often was the responsible one.
She has a massive like series of laughing emojis because she feels she's the responsible one. But she's like, fine. How about after we get out of class, we'll go. We could call up Adora and we'll blow some stuff up at the arcade.
About Adora.
Good boy.
Something wrong with Adora?
No. I think she likes us or me or us.
Yeah, she hangs out with us a lot.
No. Like beyond friendship.
What do you mean?
I think she likes us.
Yeah, she likes us a lot.
I think she's in love with us. I do the emoji with the smiley face with the heart eyes and then put equals Adora.
So I was like, nah, no. That's not.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. She was giving me the eyes when I was
If she was,
helping bandage her hand.
if she was, one of her friends would have told one of our friends, and then we would know.
Except for she thinks she's trash and not worthy of love.
Well, that's why she. Yeah,
But maybe we should.
That's all of us.
No, she is most definitely worthy of. Oh, fuck's sake.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We all feel that way, which is why we've got it to a system. She tells her friends tell their friends tell us. It's very simple.
They won't. You don't understand. They won't say a word to anyone because they don't want to break us up.
What?
And
Why would that break us up?
well, that's what they think.
That's weird.
I think we should approach them.
Like, directly? That's so aggressive.
Or maybe being truthful to the situation.
Like, so we should tell.
No, we should tell them directly. No bullshit about going through other people.
I don't get it.
I thought you were a little bit more emotionally astute than that.
It's hard to tell if she's making fun of a situation she's witnessed a lot or if she's being serious or both, but probably both.
I mean, it's also hard because we're texting this back and forth and not talking, like directly talking to each other, which is making this nuanced conversation a little bit more difficult.
So my question is, what does that have to do with the arcade?
Well, maybe it could be our first date. The three of us.
Okay. That sounds fun, but I just want to go to the arcade.
guess I was just trying to let you know about what I was picking up. And honestly, there might be some feelings for her too.
Yeah. She looks confused. Oh, you mean from you? Oh, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes, I guess.
I'm confused now. We should probably not be having this conversation over text in the middle of class.
It's like a teacher staring at them right now.
No, because we're taking notes.
Yeah. There's probably a simulation running on a overhead projector, and the teacher's just kind of running the computer and not really paying attention right
One
now.
of those.
So,
Yeah, well, I guess I forget I said anything.
no, wait. All right.
Sorry. Can't find
What?
my mute button.
Oh, I don't have one of those. Wait, are we talking about machines or in real life? Anyway.
Machines.
So, she's like, so we're not going to the arcade?
No, we totally could go to the arcade, but
You said forget
no,
about it.
forget I said anything about Adora. I don't want to leave them on like that. This is, and I think that's an audible, like outside, out loud sigh.
All right. So I have a pitch for the next scene. Okay. And it's a
Mhm.
whole bunch of things happening at once. And I'm thinking we're fading out from this scene.
Mhm.
We're at the arcade.
Okay.
Everyone is gathering. At this point, Mara is on the phone with Elizabeth, who is on her way. Minerva maybe has just arrived, or you can decide this. And Minerva, you're pretty canny. You're watching. There's a broken arcade machine. Now, Adora, you can fix stuff, right? I
You're
believe
muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I can totally do that.
What if the game that Zara really wants to play isn't working and no one at the arcade wants to try to fix it? So you're working on it and you and Zara are talking, and Minerva sees this because I think Minerva is able to pick up on the romantic tension immediately.
It's cute.
And meanwhile, Mara and Elizabeth are talking about what just happened. How does that sound for a next scene?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
that's good.
And with the idea that from here, the plan is we're going to go do the investigation stuff that we talked about off stream.
Yes.
Because Zara has to get to work anyway after this. But for now, Zara wants to blow things up. So, Elizabeth, when you call Mara, what are you saying?
I'm gonna ask her if she's alright.
Well, yeah, I'm fine. Is it? I feel like there's something you know that I don't.
Well, you know how Jaquette is one of my customers, right?
I didn't, but I do now.
Well, she's been today for a seance, and she was really couldn't shut up about you, basically. So did something happen, or is she just on a trip?
I mean, nothing new happened than when I got in her face at the soft opening.
Okay, so she's probably still reeling from that then. I've-
So you need to elaborate more. I get that it breaks the rules.
I'll break the rules for one of you. Don't be silly. In short, she thinks she has to do something for her. What was it? Order of cleanliness and something.
Oh, yes.
She
Council something something. Yeah, okay.
she's afraid that she mentioned how she's not like friends with your parents anymore.
Well,
And
yeah, they're dead. They're not friends with anyone anymore. Maybe she didn't realize it.
no, wait, did I mix it up?
No, they're dead.
They're dead.
And they weren't friends around that time. They grew apart before that, though.
In any case,
maybe I misread it.
in any case, she was talking about how she's afraid how you will develop and etc. Like she seems reluctant to like go against our group, and I'm just wondering what could have set her off.
Well, I don't know if you know what I do. I'm an eco activist, and sometimes the methods we use, Mara's like trying to figure out how to say this without being like super incriminating.
You don't have to tell me more. I understand, but do you think that crosses with her committee?
Oh yeah. They seem more about protecting the status quo than any meaningful change. Or at least that's the vibe I get from them. And sometimes the status quo isn't good.
Yeah. Well, something's gonna have to give, and I'd rather we figure something out with her. Anyway, I just wanted to warn you in case she starts going crazy tomorrow. I don't know. Doesn't seem like she's gonna do anything right this moment.
Well, are you coming down to the arcade?
Oh yeah, sure.
Everybody
I'll
else
just
is
get ready.
here, so Zara, Adora, and I are blowing up the Space Invaders right now. Or I was before I got on the phone.
Okay, you keep at that. I'll be there in a bit.
All right. Meanwhile, Adora, how is it totally obvious how you feel to Minerva? Did that question come out right? How is it totally obvious? How are your feelings totally
Yes.
obvious? Yeah.
Yes.
So what does Minerva immediately pick up on?
Goodness, the longing staring. The way that Dora constantly will do anything for Mara.
Now, I'm curious, are you staring at Mara while you're also connecting some electrical wires so you periodically shock yourself? Is that happening?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely happening. And because Zara wants this game to work, like they're a little too close for Adora to be comfortable because they're their best friend from childhood, but they're also like really hot.
So, Minerva, do you want to do anything right now, or do you want to bide your time real quick?
Oh no, I'm gonna bide my time.
All right. So once you
I'm just enjoying the show.
Once you finally hook up the thing that had been disconnected, you're not quite sure how it happened. Probably the GM did it. Zara gives you like a peck on like the temple and says thank you.
Aww.
But because of the position, there's I'm imagining because you're kind of curled up behind the thing working on it, and she was like next to you / on top of you watching.
Uh-huh.
There's sort of like a full torso like hug type thing going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of accidentally that brushes against you in a firm way, and then she steps away. How do you feel? How do you react?
Adora is very flustered. They flush and they're like, "Oh, whew, that was it was hard to fix. Took a lot of effort." Oh, hey, Dara. I was wondering, do you know where I can get some MDMA?
Were you asking Zara?
Yeah.
Let's see. Does Zara have any on her? No, she does not. Does
Okay.
she know? She's like, I mean, at a party, possibly. I don't really carry anything.
Oh, I mean, no, I wasn't trying to get it from you specifically. I just wondered if you knew somebody I could get it from, or a party where I might run into somebody like that.
I mean, probably I can think of one from the college.
That would be really cool. I wanted to pick some up and maybe hang out with you and Mara sometime and do some.
I mean, that could be fun.
Yeah, right? Drugs are fun.
And I don't know if does Mara do drugs?
I hadn't really thought about it, to be completely honest.
Would Mara has Mara joined in with Zara on this sort of thing?
Maybe once or twice.
So Zara's going to be like, I don't know if Mara would join in, but she'd probably like keep an eye on us while we're doing it.
Be your trip guide.
I hear we're pretty. I hear I'm pretty fun when I'm doing MDMA.
I mean, you're pretty fun all the time, so I would think so.
You know what's fun? Blowing stuff up. Let's blow stuff up. Woo! All right. Minerva, do you want to do anything with this or just kind of
No, I'm watching just the cute stuff happen.
Okay.
Can I walk in now?
Sure. And I'm thinking your car, the beat up, what is it, 63 Lincoln Continental?
Yeah.
Is outside parked nearby for when we're ready to hit the road.
So Elizabeth walks in and she brought Leonora with her and she's like, "Hey girls, she wants some drugs."
Adora is offended by the term girls, but excited by the word drugs. So
wait,
like
who said the drugs thing? Was that you or was that Leonora?
Me.
Okay. You have drugs?
She brought alcohol.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's go robo tripping.
Leonora looks around and she's like, no underage drinking. And since I'm not on the clock, I won't be checking anyone's IDs.
None of us is underage. Don't worry about it.
Cool. You kids, says the GM. Y'all are miscreants.
You just put this together now?
You are poorly behaved.
Again, you just put this together now.
Minerva is excellently behaved. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. Anything else in this scene, or are we moving on? We've got some investigating to do.
Well, I suppose we should like talk. What are we gonna do? So we got Jaquette to deal with.
All right. So I have a long list of people you could potentially go to for info. Quinn has mentioned some stuff, so he might know some things. There are some ties to the mayor. About Cameron at the hospital. You know about Atropos. You have contacts with Max and Rosamund. By the way, Minerva, Rosamund has been texting you and wants to hang out again for cooking. You, of course, have McConnery, who probably knows a lot. Bag Lady Trolley Witch probably knows something because she's the Bag Lady Trolley Witch. Dumpster's Bookstore, I think is the title, might have information. Kiera might. That's the owner of Wheat Wheat Don't Tell Me. And I think that's all the ones that I had right off the top that you would be aware of. So
Is hacking a viable option to get information or computer use?
It is viable, but it's very specific in what it would reveal. Like, for example, it might not reveal details that are mystical unless that's on a computer somewhere. Make sense?
Right. I was thinking the angle I wanted to go and learn more about would be Cameron and like hospital records from that was what I was looking for, which are likely digitized in today's day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Are we having this conversation in character though?
In the interest of time, I'd like to do it out of character just so we can pick where everyone's going and get to the good stuff.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, Adora would.
Sorry for talking with my mouth full. I haven't had breakfast yet, so this is.
It's all good.
Adora would want to probably ask their people who they know stuff. So that's the person at Dumpster's Books and Bag Lady Trolley Witch. And they're also going to talk to Mara about the hospital records because Mara knows computers and shit and assumes that they'd have to get some information off of that to gather more information about that.
Now, Adora, is that okay if that conversation is out of character, or is there something that needs to happen in character there?
I'm fine with that being out of character as long as Mara is.
Okay. Is that good, Mara?
Well, yep.
Okay. Sorry to be rushing everyone. I just, there's a lot if we want to get this goal resolved today. So I'm just trying to get to the meatier scenes, if we will. Or if you're a vegetarian, the vegetabilian scenes.
The vegetabilier.
Yeah.
The bouillon.
Elizabeth.
I thought bouillon is meat.
I don't know.
I think there's
You can have vegetable bouillon.
Is there?
Is it bouillon? Is it bouillon?
This is important now.
French is weird.
It's bouillon, and it's what you use to make stock. So I don't see why there wouldn't be a vegetable one.
We are canceling the Unknown Armies game to investigate the root of soup words. Unknown Soup Society. Unknown Girl Soup?
You totally can get bouillon cubes of vegetable bouillon cubes.
All right, so
sorry, I had to know for my own
all right,
knowledge.
I had the dumbest idea. What about weed cubes now for soup?
I mean,
I don't see why not. Soylent exists. Okay.
Moving on. So Elizabeth, what are you going to be doing to research, or are you just tagging along right now?
She was thinking about going more direct and just like going into the hospital and seeing where this Cameron is.
Which is probably a viable option. And I'm going to be honest, I am not going to penalize anyone for the split up. This is the kind of time that I think makes sense in like a real world sense for everyone to kind of split up. So it's not going to be like a, you don't have to worry about me attacking you guys with orcs randomly and not. So
Are these the
Oh,
orcs
fuck,
that
orcs
believe
are
red
real?
makes them? Are these the orcs that believe red makes them go faster?
yes. All right. So Elizabeth is probably going to go meet Cameron face to face. Minerva,
Yes.
I think you had wanted to go meet with Atropos.
Yes. Especially now that she is fucking with my supply.
All right. So I'm going to just make a note of that. Hacker, meet Cameron, meet Bag Lady, and meet Atropos. So I'm just going to roll a die to see which one first. All right. Let's start with Adora, if that's okay with everyone.
Sure.
Mhm.
All right. Adora, I think at Dumpster's Books, first of all,
hmm
the owner, I don't have much of a characterization for them, so I'm going to gloss over this.
Okay.
But if I recall, he finds books that are weird and handwritten and gives them to you. Is that the accurate understanding?
Yeah.
He's going to give you a copy of a book that he found called My Name is Dirk A.
Ooh. What's in here?
It's apparently was written by all right, I'm trying to find the details on this because I had it and then I lost it. It was written by someone who may have been having a schizophrenic break or a psychotic break while also going cold turkey after decades of alcoholism. Or
Ooh.
it's a expose about the nature of magic and how dangerous and evil it is. And no one really knows. So let me see now. Basically, it's just a here we are. It is a well-used book, and it's a memoir of someone, possibly written there. So that's all right. I need to go. Oh, there we are. I found it now. Written by self-proclaimed gonzo occult journo novelist, decrepit booze-down, and irritating gadfly Dirk Allen during a period of court-mandated recovery meetings. It's probably a loosely fictionalized hash of personal reportage, slang and cliche, Burroughs-style cut-up plagiarism, genuine mystical insight, and balderdash. It's a slim 160-page print-on-demand physical book. And it's about him falling asleep in 12-step meetings and instead having dreams reminding himself about actual encounters that he had. At least that's what you get from flipping through it as you're leaving the store.
Cool. Dora always leaves dumpster books via the back so they can go through the alleyway, see if anybody's tossed out some cool trash. And they're probably like flipping through this book and then like sliding it into a knapsack as they just survey the landscape, see if any enticing trash is calling to them.
You're flipping through the book, you look up, you notice some spare jumper cables that seem in very decent condition, and then you trip over a human leg.
Do I need to do a check for that?
No, because
Okay.
you're fine. You just tripped over Bag Lady Trolley Witch, who is sitting in a corner near the dumpster to the jumper cables. She is eating a egg sandwich, and I should put up her picture thing because we haven't seen her in a while. I don't remember how she talks. Did she have any weird vocal tics or just kind of talk?
I don't remember.
I think she did, and I'm trying to remember. Anyway, so here she is, Bag Lady Trolley Witch. She's a little bit odd.
Yeah, so Dora's just gonna like fall to the ground and be like roll over on their back and like just lift their head and see Bag Lady Trolley Witch and be like, "Oh, there you are. I haven't seen you in ages."
You gotta watch
3
out for
days.
human legs. Human legs are everywhere. You gotta watch out for them, she says.
Okay. They seem
gotta-
overrated, but if you
gotta
say
watch
so.
out for leggies. I don't know why leggies is in the chat, but I had to say that out loud.
What have you been up to? Found any good trash lately?
Well, I found a sandwich, and then I'm eating it.
It looks
And
delicious.
In the future, it will be. Do you want some?
Yes.
All right. She rips it in half and gives you basically a quarter of the sandwich is what's left.
Nice.
For you. But she's very dainty when she's eating it. She's holding it by the wrapper.
Adora is not dainty. They're like nom 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 and like talking with their mouth open, and they're like, "You gonna take these jumper cables?"
Don't have a car. Don't have a car battery. Don't like the feeling of jumper cables attached to my skin. I'm thinking no.
That's understandable. I feel like other people would feel the same way, which is why I'm gonna take them.
Yeah, don't want anybody tripping and falling and landing and getting electrocuted.
Or maybe I do, but
Word on the street is you might have it in for Jacat.
Oh my God. I was just going to ask you, what do you know about this, community purity bullshit, whatever it is?
It's not bullshit. They have a good soup kitchen and a good free clinic.
Wait, like, you don't think it's bullshit?
No, I don't think it's bullshit. I think she's a little bullshit.
Okay.
All right. It doesn't really get cold very often here, but when it does, they do have a place I can sleep. And when I'm hungry, they will feed me, even if the food's not so great. And when my eye got infected, they did give me medicine.
Okay. That makes me feel like some of the people in there aren't bad. Have you?
There you go. You're following me.
All right. So you've like actually interacted with individuals there, not just like volunteers, but like people organizing the thing?
Give me a connect roll. Or if you have a relationship with her, you can roll your relationship.
All right. Let's see. I do have a relationship, and I will roll that instead. And I did it. Hooray.
She breathes heavy. How much do you want to know?
Oh my God. I want to know everything.
All right. How much do you know about the hatchery?
Out of character, I don't know anything, right?
You're correct.
Okay, great. The hatchery? Nothing. I don't know about that at all.
How much do you know about the invisible clergy?
I read in a book that they have like some kind of power. I feel like it's bullshit though. Because I've only come across it once, and like that was written by somebody who obviously didn't know what they were talking about, because like according to them, none of the hex that I constantly am casting on people would work. And like whatever, I hex people like 27 times a day. They all work, obviously.
She looks sad. All right. I don't know what to say because I don't know how much to tell you, how much you're ready for. But
Oh,
I was not always the gifted bodhisattva you see before you. She spreads her hands out over the pile of trash that she is using as a bed right now.
I mean, you're really amazing. That's hard to believe, but everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Would you believe that I have a bank account?
I mean, sure. Sometimes you can have a bank account with $0 in it, or I don't know. Like, if I grow up and like am as good at collecting trash as you, maybe I wouldn't have a home. Do you have a home?
I had a home, yeah.
Okay.
And a bank account with a not insignificant sum of money.
So, wait. Do you still have that bank account, or is that gone?
It's still there. And I try to break it every so often, but
Break by like overdrawing? Like, what do you mean? Break into it, like gain access to it?
she looks around. Break taboo, she says. And it looks like we need to go to break. And I didn't notice. So that might be a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's a great cliffhanger.
So if let me get the things I'm supposed to read together to go to break, because I was thinking we had another 10 minutes. So as we head to break, why not head over to roll20.net/start/WTTP and sign up for your free account. Over 4 million people use its virtual tabletop to power through their favorite games. Lots of modules, and you'll probably find something for your group to enjoy. And when we come back from break, we'll continue this, and we'll see what happens with these new scenes. This might have to be a 2-part adventure just to get through all of the incredible things we are going to discover. So, I need to figure out how to...
Just so you know, I won't be here next week, so you might want to get to me before then.
Definitely will. Let me set up the break thing. And all right. So please watch the little commercial thing that's going to play, and then we will be back in a few minutes. Bye.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hibernating Unknown Girl Society, the only Unknown Armies 3rd edition game for Welcome to the Party, in which the cat came, ate all my cheese, and the mice just escaped. What happened? I don't know. I'm running out of these apparently. I'm not on my A game today for making stuff up on the fly. Which is good because role-playing games. So, hi everybody. So when we left, I'm getting something in my headphones. Oh, sorry about that. My bad. I'm assuming no one else was getting that then. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So Bag Lady Trolley Witch was about to tell Adora about her time as an adept. Yeah, she says, I try to break taboo daily. It's hard at this point. And then she wolfs down the last of the Egg McMuffin. What do you say? Looks like everyone is muted. Adora, are you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you
Fun
now.
times. My bad. Ugh. Okay. What are you talking about? Break taboo? You break taboo every day of your life, just living out here with the trash. Why I want to be like you.
When you're an adept, it's different from being just what we are now. You got things you can't do. And if you do them, you lose all of your magic. And when you're an adept, you stockpile magic and you hoard it. And you get paranoid about it. And
Sounds awful.
Yeah. It makes you a little crazy sometimes. And you need it. You're after it. And so I have this bank account that I haven't figured out how to just get rid of. There's a ton of money in it. And every time I get an interest payment, ding, I get a little magic. So I take out some money and I spend it. Or I burn it. And that breaks my taboo and I'm back to zero. And
wait, so you're not a trash adept, you said?
No, this is totally different. This is not adept stuff at all.
So, oh yeah, you said you used to be an adept?
Right. See, when you're an adept, everything is about meaning. And so my meaning was money. So I gathered it and I held it and I hid it. And after stuff went wrong, I quit being that. But it's not like a light switch. You don't just turn it off. It stays with you. So I still feel it. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
I feel like I'm kind of. Wow. So you used to be super rich, and that gave you magic powers, and now you have different magic powers because you're not rich. Yeah?
You and I have the same magic powers. We both understand meaning, we understand ritual, we understand the gutter now.
I like that you call it that.
Yeah, they call it gutter magic, but it's like it's something totally different. I don't think they get what real gutter magic is. But being an adept, I wasn't rich because I couldn't spend it. I just had to get it.
Huh.
And by getting it, that gave me magical power, which I could then use. So if you ever, what adepts do is they do a thing, it transgresses, and then they get magical power. And if they mess up, they lose it all. So they fear messing up. And that's a lot of people in town.
A lot of people in. Oh my goodness! This whole thing started because we were talking about the committee. So, Jacket is the fucking one of these adept people.
She's different.
Okay.
She's an avatar. That's a totally different thing. Avatar is all about how you're seen and how other people perceive you. Being an adept's internal, it's about the concept inside of yourself and your relationship to the universe, right?
Okay.
Being an avatar is about buying into how people see you and riding on that, coasting on that. You know how like sometimes by pretending, just by acting a certain way, people just their eyes will glide over us and they won't even pay any attention because they don't want to see us.
Oh hell yeah.
It's that, but magic, or more magic.
Okay. So, if we could hypothetically make people see Jaquette differently, she'd lose all of her power?
She would lose a lot of it, and it would be hard because she's been doing this for 30 years.
Huh.
She's not like me. She didn't give it up when things went wrong.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting. What went wrong? Can you tell me?
I'll tell you some. 30 years ago, we wanted to do something really special. And we did a big ritual because we wanted to make sure that what was ascending, what was going into the stratosphere was not the worst humanity has to offer, but the best. So she gestures, this town. We worked on this town. It was not easy for us, and we were a group, and we succeeded. And then we started doing different things.
You mean like when you're kids and you have a clubhouse and a tree and like your 4 best friends, and then you go to high school and 2 of them are like, fuck you turds, and push you on the ground and start spitting on you?
Not quite that bad, but more like we want to be in band, and other people are like, we want to do art, and other people are like, we want to do auto mechanics.
Okay. So can we back up just a second?
Yeah.
Going into the stratosphere, like, please tell me you're not behind that goddamn UFO.
We are behind the goddamn UFO.
Oh.
Dang.
What?
The UFO, as everyone calls it, is a mystic incubator that manages magical energy. And it does a lot of different things, but makes this into a very verdant, mystic area. It's got a lot of side effects and a lot of weirdness, some of which we plan for, some of which it doesn't. It calls some people who would get involved in darker shit. It sorts them, so that it recycles them almost, so that they can do something a little bit better with their lives than just rip people off and hurt people.
Whoa. So my parents didn't get dragged off by some fucking stupid cult. They were called to this UFO stratosphere thing to not be horrible people and instead use the magic they apparently have to do good?
No. It was intended to rechannel people who would be really bad into being neutral. So maybe your parents were going to be get involved with some sort of really messed up dark cult shit and sacrifice you. And instead, they abandon you and they get involved with this cult and they spend the next 5-10 years gardening in the name of a UFO instead.
Okay, but you said it went wrong.
Well, people didn't always agree on what was best. At the time, I was wrapped up in my obsessions. You know, money and value.
Right.
We had a lot going on. And then, see, it's dangerous out there. It's not just dangerous because of us in the underground to each other, but there's people out there who want to hurt us.
All of us? Like,
Mages in general, yeah. There's people who think magic is just bad, and if we step out of line, they will kill us. They're the sleepers, and we had an agreement to keep them out of town. And we had an alliance with a group that was trying to make avatars, a sort of comparison of information. And they had leverage in the form of a small kid named Cameron. And so 15 years ago, we'd been drifting apart. We got back together. And we found Cameron and took him back.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what he's in the hospital right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. That was around when I stopped.
Okay, so 15 years ago you all got back together and took this Cameron person back,
Yeah.
and now the sleepers are going to come after us.
No, not
No.
the sleepers, a different group. There's a lot of groups.
Okay, I'm super confused. I'm trying to keep this straight. So
The sleepers want to keep everything quiet, but you got people who want to control magic. You got people who want to control the invisible clergy. You got people who want to just keep us from making noise. And in this case, it was, we called them the milk because they were, you know how like on milk cartons they have pictures of kids?
yeah.
Do I need to elaborate?
No. Okay.
It's bad. And when I started to realize just how bad it had gotten, just what we had done, you know,
So you stepped out instead of stepping up? You're just letting this happen?
weren't, I don't know what you think I'm letting happen.
I don't know
drove-
either. You're making it sound like something horrible is happening.
There's a group that is horrible that we were exchanging information with. And when I found out just how horrible we are, I broke with the group. And I was like, we can't let these people get in our town anymore.
Okay. So
But that That's so, but that wasn't when I gave up the magic. As part of this, two of our people had summoned a thing, something they couldn't control. And I don't know the details because I wasn't there. But I think it was maybe 10 years ago. That thing, as far as I know, killed both of them, killed a couple of our other people. And then that person disappeared.
Yep.
I quit. I'm done with magic completely. I mean, that kind of magic. I don't want it anymore. I know some of the others of us also walked. But Jaquette, Martha,
Yeah.
they decided they were going to do more. And I don't even know if that's worthwhile. I don't know if they made the right choice or if I made the right choice, but I just know I was a dog on the leash for that stuff. And now I'm just street trash. I know a lot, I can do a lot, but I won't because I'm not calling on that anymore. It's an addiction. And it's bad. And I think a lot about maybe I could have done more. I don't know if Jaquette's right because I mean she does have food clinics, and what do I have to show?
Have your
On the-
integrity.
Do I though? I still got that bank account. I didn't close it.
You think it's gonna call you back?
I don't know. I think you know how sometimes when you look at a plastic bag blown on the wind, you can see some truth in it.
Yeah.
Something's coming. And I don't know what. I'm scared. And I haven't done anything.
You're talking to me. I can do something.
Yeah. Maybe that'll get you killed.
Oh God. Like that matters to me. Fuck, you are the most amazing piece of trash I know. And I love you for it. And I don't I'm trying to wrap my mind around this because it's way big, but I think from the sound of things you're doing the right thing, and I think I need to talk to my friends about this because okay.
Just be careful, child.
Huh?
Just be careful.
Okay, one last question. Um it really sounds like Jaquette and Martha are the ones most likely to make this go sour. But the committee, if we worked things out right, could actually help make things better.
The committee has the potential to make things better. That's the fun of humanity. I'm not saying they will make things sour, but we all had to get our hands pretty dirty to pull the magic off. So be careful.
Okay. Okay. I will. I've got to go. But
Is that the end of that scene?
yeah, I'll see you later. Woo!
Did I lose Connie?
Oh no.
No.
Oh, I lost everybody.
Oh goodness. We can still hear you.
I muted my volume thinking I would be muting a different volume.
Whoops.
Good job.
Womp womp.
It's called a comedy ending. So what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just ending the encounter being like, I've got to go talk to my friends. I'll see
right.
you later.
So I think the next thing I want to do. Oh, real quick, Adora, give me a connect roll, or if you have something that substitutes for connect, or you can roll your relationship with her because I'm curious if you're going to help her feel better or not.
Okay. I've already rolled her once. How does that work in game?
You can roll her again. It's not an issue. It's just
Okay.
like rolling a skill.
Cool. Oh.
Yeah, her self-loathing over some of that stuff is just way too powerful right now.
Poor baby.
Well, I mean, you don't know what she was. Keep in mind, she's accumulated wealth. You know.
Right. No, I'm definitely having second thoughts about her being a perfect person, like I originally thought she was, but ouch.
Yeah. Just so for clarity's sake, she was saying good things about your kid and Martha. She was not saying they are good people. That's a different thing. They do good things, is what she was trying to say sometimes. Was that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think I want to hit theater nerd hacking next.
Cool.
So go ahead. Are you at home doing this?
Probably. Unless they could be, or she could be sneaky and has a room no one knows about at the restaurant. Hacker lair.
I'm thinking home makes more sense personally, but I'm flexible.
Okay,
So.
no, that's fine. They probably have a hacker lair somewhere when they have to do really, really illegal things.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and give me...
They're going to open up. Oh, you want the appropriate skill roll before you tell me?
And I think that's eco-activist based on how we set it up. If you went with my suggestion for unique.
Yes.
Cool.
Fuck.
What'd you get?
Is the answer to that question.
Is that your obsession skill?
It doesn't matter. It's still a 99 if I flip it. That's a critical failure anyway. I dice that.
So I'm a big fan of, instead of you failed, I'm a bigger fan of you get caught. You failed covering your tracks, but you still get information. How does that sound to you?
I mean, that's fair. I just want you to know she uses a VPN. She probably was using the Tor browser if it has anything to do with the browser. Like, somehow something failed in all of that, because I'm pretty sure she always has a VPN going on her. Any computer she uses.
Well, it's good we're not sponsored by a VPN.
All right. I think I am going to hold. Something about how you were doing it is so obviously not what's supposed to be happening that they catch on. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment, or possibly not this session. It might be a longer term thing.
Okay, cool.
But this is what you managed to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron was admitted to the hospital. Cameron is assigned assigned male at birth. Cameron is listed male. Cameron 15 years ago was admitted to the hospital in a comatose state at the age of 16. Do I have that right? No. I have that. No, I have that right.
So they were 16 at the time they were admitted.
Yeah. So they should be, according to this, if that's the right thing, because it was by Jaquette's admission, 31 now. Whether that's the actual age, there isn't details about Cameron's birth available. They are not in the computer. Cameron had sustained a lot of physical trauma. Most of that is healed. Cameron has been in and out of a vegetative state for the last 15 years.
Sorry. I'm trying to type notes and listen, and my laptop's not cooperating with me. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Continue.
The committee pays for his treatment. And that's, I think, all you find. Do you have any specific questions you want to know? You've got a lot of like more specific medical info that I don't think is pertinent, but might be.
So I just want to make sure I have this correct. He was assigned male at birth, but there are no birth records at this hospital. Is this like the major hospital in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when admitted, assigned male was the identity. Am I making, like, I don't think at the time he was admitted they were like AMAB was a thing, but at this point,
every sex or gender marker that I am seeing in relation to this Cameron's medical records.
Yeah. I feel like I'm messing that up just because I'm mispresenting, probably because I'm not super as a way.
Well, no, I just want to make sure I understand what I found. And as far as I can see, at this hospital, there are no birth records of Cameron Muse ever being born.
Correct.
And there aren't any other hospitals. Like, I live in a city where there are 2 hospitals.
Yeah. Not in this local area, no.
Okay. So if he was born in this local area, which I guess I don't know, because they were 16 years old when they were admitted.
Yeah. But you couldn't find any birth records for them, and there was no record of a hospital stay related to giving birth for Jaquette. Also.
Interesting. Can I also have looked for information on the committee itself? I know that would be like trying to hack into a different system.
The head of the committee is barely ever seen. Atropos has been there since the beginning. The committee's been around for a while. And that's when things start getting messed up on your computer and you start getting concerned.
I immediately just power it down.
Cool. So there you go. All right. Let's go do Minerva real quick, I think. Just because does that seem good? Or should we go with Elizabeth and Adora?
I think maybe just because I feel like it's gonna be some big thing, go with Elizabeth and Adora first.
All right, so I'm thinking we're outside the hospital. Elizabeth and Adora are there. You guys have already talked, and Adora, you decided you wanted to go too. Is that what we had talked about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with this new knowledge that I just acquired, I would have like known that Elizabeth was thinking about going to the hospital and would have approached them with this new information about the Cameron person we're looking into.
All right. So
So,
Adora,
so give me the keynotes real quick. What did your trash person say about her?
Okay, so 30 years ago, there was a huge ritual involving all of the people in town that are like powerfully magically inclined.
Mhm.
And then like something horrible happened and the UFO is here and it's supposed to make people not be evil, but there's something wrong with it. And that called the attention of some weird ass groups that the people tried to make a deal with by giving them Cameron, but now Cameron's back, and that
Okay.
means danger.
Got it.
all right. So Adora, I want one obvious tick that anyone who knows you would know this hospital is freaking you out.
Dora is holding a little one of their brooches that they've taken off of their hoodie, and their hands are clasped together in front of them, and they're like trying to be as small as possible, like squeezing their shoulders in, like taking small steps. Their head is kind of hunched in, so they're just trying to be as small as possible, and their hands are
Okay.
tightly gripped.
And Elizabeth, how are you successful in comforting Adora through this very difficult thing that you know is hard for her?
I think I would use my experience as working as a spiritual healer. So could I roll that maybe?
You don't have to roll. You succeed. You already succeeded.
Okay.
The question was worded in a way that loads it that you are successful. I just want to know what it looks like when you are succeeding.
So it's mostly comforting words, really.
Okay. So you say a lot of soothing things to Adora.
Mhm.
I mean, I can make you roll if you want to, but I'm more interested in you succeeding than what happens if you fail. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Hold on one second. That's weird. I have 2 instances of Roll20 up. So that's
It's
why things were going.
duplicating.
All right then. So I think the first thing you got to do to get to Cameron is just give me a whatever identity or role you want to do to try to convince people that you should be there and you should see this person. So if you're lying your way through, lie. If you're connecting your way through, connect. If you're statusing your way through, status. If you're sneaking, use secrecy. How are you getting through? And I want this to be a mechanical thing with the roll.
I was hoping to basically use my knowledge from having dealt with Jaquette as a spiritual healer to like lie my way through, like
Okay.
pretend I'm her sister maybe or something.
Okay. And you're using so you want to use the spiritual healer identity for that.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll that.
Before that happens, is there a way to assist people? Because I do have my disguise ability to try and make Elizabeth look more like Jaquette, so that
I
this
don't
goes
know.
off better.
I don't know about assisting, but I
Okay.
like the idea of you doing that. So why don't you go ahead and roll your disguising stuff to kind of make yourself look a little bit better.
Wow.
Is it safe to assume this is all happening at the same time? Or could I have texted one or both of them to be like, hey, this seems really fishy. There's no birth records if he was born in town. Because Adora would have had to talk to the trash witch which I would have assumed would have happened at the same time I was hacking.
I think that's true, but I don't know what would that dissuade you guys from going in? I don't think it would.
I'm not trying to dissuade them. I'm just trying to arm them with the knowledge that, like, this all seems really fishy to me. Like, be careful.
All right, so Elizabeth and Adora, you get that text before you're going in. Adora, sorry, go ahead.
And I might also mention, I think I might have gotten caught.
Elizabeth, Adora makes both of you look very presentable, like you're supposed to be there. Okay.
Okay.
When you start trying to fast talk the people that you're here, sort of in your role as spiritual healer, they get suspicious because they don't know what's going on. So give me one moment. Let me look at this. I am supposed to roll a notice check to do this. So all right. So they kind of look at you and they're like, yeah, right. And they basically turn you away. But you could still try to sneak by or pull rank or something else if you want to.
Well, I looked over to Adora. Do you have an idea? They won't let me in.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I mean, I could try and just sneak in. Like, there's got to be a back way where the trash comes out. Or, I don't know, maybe we could do some magic. Like,
you guys haven't used your supernatural identities, and both of them are functional here and could be doing something like that. For example, you could use it to tell you the specific way to the room that would get you to avoid all of the guards. Because versatile lets you do one time a day, something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So that would be your, I believe, trash witch identity.
Mm-hmm. So let's roll that. Ooh. Yay. 16. That's good.
All right. So as you're going in, you manage to find a back door and it's open, and you find your way up to the room where Cameron is. I want to double check to make sure one thing, but let me go ahead and give you the picture of Cameron. Cameron does not look 31 years old.
Nope.
No.
Cameron is tiny physically, and Cameron looks effeminate. And Cameron is surrounded in their bed where they are unconscious with notes of lots of notes, lots of flowers, and lots of requests for advice, which is possibly the weirdest part of this whole thing. Because no one expects Cameron to write them back, obviously. But lots of the little cards that are with flowers are like, please help me figure out how to solve this thing with my husband. Please help me how to solve this thing with my father, my son, my daughter, all of those sorts of things. Okay? And that's very strange. Incidentally, I want to offer Adora, do you think this might be a rank 1 or 2 isolation or helplessness check going into the hospital?
I think definitely helplessness sounds more.
Okay. I am going to give you a +10 boost on that because of Elizabeth's assistance.
Okay. And I'm defending, so that's status.
Yep. So
All
give
right.
yourself a hardened helplessness check.
Okie doke.
And you find Cameron. Cameron is not conscious.
Are they like hooked to machines?
Yep. There's a lot of breathing and feeding things. Cameron seems like maybe they can breathe on their own, but the machine assists them. There's a lot of, looks like, intravenous drips for nutrients. And you have a weird feeling. And your weird feeling that both of you get is that this is someone you can ask for advice on anything.
Hmm.
Which
How
is,
would they answer that?
you have no idea, but you still have that feeling. And even though it doesn't make any sense, that feeling is overwhelming. What do you do?
Adora's gonna go through the trash.
You notice the following things in the trash: tea leaves, an empty energy drink, and a small glass jar that has a sort of red powdery substance in it.
Pocketing that.
Okay.
I feel like we should check in with Elizabeth first.
All right.
I would like to use my spirit guide and ask, like, if they would know how to speak with Cameron.
You get an answer that it's difficult in this place, but she totally could connect you. That would spend your spirit guide for the day.
Yeah, I want to do it.
All right, give me a roll on that.
Oh boy. Why am I rolling so high today?
Oh boy, that's yikes. Huh. I'm working on that one. That's a big deal. That's going to be a hook for next time. I think we're closing up on the end of this session, so we might open up here. So why don't
Okay.
I pin you there and we go to Minerva? So what's going to happen is, I think this is when Adora finally sees Shay for the first time, first of all. Is that cool?
I mean, didn't Adora live with me? I think she would have seen Shay.
Adora has, from what I remember, Adora can't see Shay. She just kind of senses Shay. Is that right, Connie?
Oh,
That is correct. Yeah, they are still very young, very new to their powers. They have not gotten to the point where they just see mystical shit
okay, so
happening.
that's what you meant. Okay.
So you pull out the, I don't know if you're wearing it or if you pull it out of your pocket.
Out of the pocket.
So you pull out, it's the headband, right?
Headband, yeah.
And it's like an old hippie headband, and Shay appears out of it. Now I don't have her uploaded yet. I need to upload your drawings because they're very good. And she's kind of gauzy and ephemeral and nothing. And then she reaches out to Cameron and connects Elizabeth and Cameron. And At that point, Elizabeth stops responding to you, Adora, and doesn't move. And you see Shay, and then Shay disappears. And then it's just Elizabeth holding Cameron's hand and not moving.
What the fuck?
And then things start flickering in the room. Lights start flickering. And there is a mirror in this room. And on the mirror, you see the words, "This one is available. Give me the child," referring to Cameron, "and I can prevent this problem, Adora."
Fuck, how did you get here? You said you were stuck.
I am stuck. I followed you. Answer now. Time is short.
Fucking take him.
All right. You get a bloody thumbs up on the mirror that disappears.
Oh boy.
Shay's disappears back into the thing. I think Elizabeth, you might pass out, Elizabeth, I think.
Okay.
Cameron's eyes are gonna snap open and look at you and smile. And what's your noble ideal, Connie?
Oh goodness, it's equality.
All right, so I don't think this goes against equality necessarily. I feel like this might be a self check.
Okay.
Like, how do you feel about a rank 6 self check?
That sounds difficult, but
Does that sound like I feel like that would be a big deal to have sacrificed the comatose
yes.
person for the
Oh
ghost.
yeah. I mean, I'm in a hospital, so I'm already sketched
Yeah.
out. My foster parent is non-communicative.
Yeah.
This whole scene with Cameron is bonkers.
Yeah.
And I just allowed a evil spirit to inhabit someone.
Yeah.
So
All right. Go ahead. I need you to roll a self check, which I can't remember what it is.
defend with notice.
So you're gonna fail. So you have 3 options.
Yep.
You can run the fuck away.
Uh-huh.
You can freeze the fuck up,
Uh-huh.
or you could fly into a fucking rage and attack Cameron.
Okay. They're not going to freeze. They feel like either they have to escape this environment or they have to right the wrong they just made. Oh my goodness, this poor little trash witch. She's gonna act like Mara would want her to, and they are going to attack Cameron.
Oh my god, don't put that on me.
Do you have a weapon?
I've got a trash can.
Give me a struggle roll.
And you of all people, like, you're the last person who should be doing this.
It's true.
While I'm unconscious. Perfect.
I know.
So you swing the trash can at Cameron. It hits as Cameron starts sitting up. And I'm using Cameron's preferred pronouns now, which is she, her. Cameron looks around. The trash can hits her, knocks her down because she doesn't have a lot of force, but then she sits back up. She's like, "That's going to bruise." Oh, this voice is much better.
What the fuck are you doing here?
She gets out of the bed, wraps herself in the blanket, as you're still like wailing on her, and just basically kind of first pushing once, and it's like, okay, that didn't work. She pushes a lot harder and knocks you off the bed into the ground. Confronted with violence, do you go comatose or do you still fight?
No. They're not gonna go down.
All
not,
right.
Not fighting. They're in too deep.
We need opposed struggle rolls.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that's how you do it, but
That's
That's
how
what I
we're
think.
doing it.
Oh God.
so she's not very strong. But when her eyes turn black and bleed out a little bit of black ink, it looks like,
Yeah.
she is easily able to grab you by the head and slam you face first into the arm holder, the arm guard that's along
Yeah.
those hospital beds.
Oh my
You
God.
take 10 damage
Oh my God.
and you are dazed. You lose your next action.
Okay.
She says, "Thank you for bringing me back. We'll talk later."
I warned you about this.
Minerva had a plan. You didn't know it, but she did.
And she turns and she walks out of the room.
Oh, it's such good failure. I love it.
And I think at that point, when you finally regain, they're gone, so you're in control.
Okay.
Also now, you hear things happening outside, and Elizabeth, you've been unconscious. What
Uh-huh.
happened to you when you connected with the comatose Cameron? I'm assuming you kind of met in a dreamscape with them. Does that sound right?
That works.
You are in a black and white photograph of a farmhouse. Cameron is there. She looks like she does. She looks like a little girl. She's playing with a dog. She's talking to you. Suddenly, there is a wicked witch sound
Do, 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 do.
as a black blur comes in and erases every single thing you heard as you were talking to her. And it rips your consciousness away. I need you to give me an unnatural a lot check because I'm trying to figure out just how many. What's your hardened unnatural?
2 dots, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think you have just been attacked with magic. Specifically, you were blasted out of the mind of this child, this
Ooh.
31-year-old child. So give me an unnatural 5 check.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. We can roll the actual stats too, right? Unnatural.
The way it works, yeah, if you're trying to save against unnatural, in your case, you would want to use, you would be rolling knowledge. You would be making a knowledge check, unless you have something that defends against unnatural.
Nope. Wow, such good rolls today. What the hell?
All right, so the thing that makes the most sense to me is if you just stay comatose for a little while. Does that work for you?
Sure, I'm knocked out.
The other ones seem a little bit messier. And so as soon as Cameron flees, you manage to groggily come to, though, and Shay isn't responding to you right now. You can't hear her.
I presume I can't hear anything, and I got like ringing ears.
So,
Is
Elizabeth.
Dora here?
Yeah, Adora and Elizabeth, what are you doing? You've got
I'm
control
screaming,
again.
"Are you alright?"
Adora is bloodied up a little bit.
We've got to get out of here now. This is not okay.
What happened?
There's some kind of demon took over Cameron. Oh my god.
I think I need to actually do a check because I have a fear of physical harm.
A violence check.
I presume.
So I think you're good right. How about a helplessness check? I think it's a helplessness too. Do you have help? What's your hardened helplessness?
5.
So being helpless while you were out was when the violence happened to you. So you managed to get it together. That one doesn't get through to you right now.
Okay, I'm good for now. I'm gonna panic though. What's the like closest exit? Are the windows, or should we just run for the door?
You can run for a door. There are stairs. You might know where they are.
You guys are the actual worst.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, just look at our rolls.
It's gonna be up to Minerva to fix things.
Assuming we can even fix what has already transpired.
Right?
I have a few ideas. Minerva has like a lot of magic.
As you all are making your way out towards the stairs, you see a lot of beaten up security guards. They're not dead, but they're beaten up, and some of them are missing clothing and stuff. And you also see a nearly totaled vending machine. Like the glass is broken with someone's head shoved through it, and all of the snacks are gone.
Dora's gonna grab a wheelchair and be like, sit. Come on, gotta not look suspicious.
Okay.
All right. The only reason you know what? I don't know if you're gonna get out yet. Let me see. You get out without being caught physically. So now let's wrap this up with the Atropos meeting.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So this starts off a little before this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys at diner? Or are you no ponies is an option? Or I think Atropos as a power move invites you to credit card, which is the top tier of the 3 mystic bars.
I will humbly accept.
All right.
And Minerva wears something nice.
Yeah, this is a nice bar. You don't have to dress up here because you can, the criteria for getting in is magical power and seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the people who show up here dress nice.
Yeah.
And the others are kind of treated like weirdos. So let's get Atropos up here now. Here's Atropos.
There she is.
Atropos greets you fondly, sits down. I took the liberty of ordering a price fix, but definitely kosher meal for us while we're discussing things. I'm assuming this will take some time. I hope that's acceptable. I can cancel it.
That should be acceptable. Thank you.
So, you've thought about my offer?
I think it is certainly something we can negotiate, and it would be to the benefit of all involved that a personal squabble or any such thing like that between Jaquette and Mara, that doesn't have to interfere with our 2 organizations.
You think it's a personal squabble?
Yes.
Oh, there's a misunderstanding. This is territorial.
I am aware of what Mara is. Yes.
So eventually they will have to fight in some fashion.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that perhaps it would be better to let that be a solo, just mono e mono thing, with the rest of us staying out of it.
She giggles at that and says, "Have you heard of cage matches?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be funny? Just the two of them." What does Mara look like again?
I mean, she's probably like 6 feet tall, muscularly built. I mean, she does CrossFit.
Yeah. And then you have Jaquette, who's just like soccer mom.
I mean, that'd be interesting to be sure, regardless of what happens with it. But I think it would be, good for everybody if, for the larger part, our organizations could be at peace.
I know
Or
that's the intention here. I know that's what the mayor wants. I'm pretty sure that's what McConnery wants, and that's what the committee wants. And Jaquette doesn't always realize this, but she's not the entirety of the committee.
Mhm.
And at that point, her phone rings, and she picks it up. And an appetizer arrives. It's just absolutely exquisite. I don't know what it is.
Fancy things.
Huh. Huh. Uh, well. Huh. Huh. I am so sorry for being rude. I should not have taken that phone call in the middle of this meeting, but it's good that I did.
Interesting news?
Apparently, one member of your group was caught investigating some major restricted documents.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Busted.
Interesting.
And apparently, this is still being investigated. But two other members of your group went to the hospital to visit Jaquette's son, beat up a bunch of security guards, broke a vending machine, and kidnapped him.
We were disguised.
What? Look, I know some of the more members of the group, mostly Mara,
Oh,
are.
you know what? That's it. Sorry, there's a good point. The disguise. I got to figure out how to work that in. Were they identified? How were they identified? Oh, that's how. Okay. Accounted for. Thank you for pointing it out. Sorry
For sure.
Just what I know, some members, particularly Mara, can be rash, but that doesn't sound like something they do. Certainly not kidnapping.
Well, okay. Here's what we know. We have video surveillance of a confrontation in a hospital room with Jaquette's son that came to blows, in which there was a disguise on someone, and we didn't recognize her. But after they tried to hit the child of Jaquette with a trash can, they got into a physical scuffle, which knocked the disguise off, and it became apparent that it was Adora and Elizabeth somehow had found a back road into our hospital. And Camera got up and walked away. The thing is, Cameron doesn't walk. Cameron doesn't move. So the footage is concerning and suggests some sort of mystic interference. Considering that both Adora and Elizabeth are mystically gifted, and they all left the hospital around the same time, it's very likely that Cameron is currently in their possession.
I know them. Even Jaquette knows, Elizabeth. We wouldn't kidnap a kid. Cameron is a kid, right?
Well, it's kind of odd. In the footage, Cameron is 31 years old, first of all. But Cameron is physically underdeveloped. Cameron only weighs about 80 pounds. And the footage shows the body of Cameron walking, something Cameron should not be able to do. So we suspect some sort of mystic control. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, though it is kind of odd.
Okay. How about this? I will call them on speaker, and I will get them to explain what happened. How about that?
I find this acceptable. I frankly didn't expect this turn of events at all.
I didn't either, and I am so sorry that this turned out the way it did, and I'm gonna try and call Adora.
All right. Please, go ahead. Adora, do you pick up?
No.
Fucking yeah, I try and call Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, do you pick up?
Elizabeth is getting wheeled, so she's fumbling with the phone like, yes? What? Hello?
Elizabeth, what the fuck did you just do?
What do you mean?
Because I'm sitting here with Atropos, and she's telling me that you just kidnapped Cameron. What the fuck?
Oh, no, something possessed Cameron. Why would I kidnap Cameron? I wanted to talk to Cameron.
Exactly. See, they weren't trying to kidnap. Okay, so where is Cameron?
They took some cop clothes and beat up a bunch of people, and I think they ate candy.
So did you follow them? Where are they?
I don't know. I was unconscious for like a long ass while, and Adora's hurt.
Fuck, god damn it.
Adora's hurt? Honey, are you okay? Says Atropos.
I'm
Does
not
Adora know Atropos?
You flirted with me.
I'm asking out of character, obviously.
You
Oh,
met
okay.
Atropos.
Yeah, they met. You said something that was more of an insult, and Atropos took it as flirting.
Oh, okay. Does Elizabeth have their phone on speaker as well?
No, that's the thing, though.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
So
think
she's,
she
like,
has her phone on
Adora is
speaker,
fine.
Atropos. Look, we need to find Cameron now, okay? Or because Atropos thinks you guys kidnapped Cameron okay, why the fuck is Cameron walking around in the first place?
He shouldn't be able to.
Fuck if I know. Okay, so basically I tried to communicate with Cameron, and as soon as I started connecting with them, some being just overtook them. It really looks like a possession of some other spiritual being. I wouldn't know what though.
So I think at this point, Atropos is going to say there's only one solution. We have to call the cops.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing this right, Minerva. The cops are gonna help. Cameron just beat up 30 cops in the hospital.
Those were security guards. The actual cops are all adepts.
Oh my god.
And I would like that to be the end of the episode.
Oh my god. Woo!
On a scale of 1 to boned, how boned are we?
We're pretty boned.
Honestly, I have no idea how boned you are. This is. I did not expect Cameron to get possessed by Stray, and
Yeah, I just wanted to like
it's
be
good.
like hand the phone to Adora because like did Adora do something? Apparently.
Yeah, they're definitely going to use their teenager trait to try and convince you all they didn't do anything.
Why don't you go ahead and roll that now?
Okay, they're really bad at being good at stuff.
That's almost double your trait.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Can I do one last thing and like try and roll like connect with Atropos? Just try and start smoothing things out.
Oh no, you don't. You succeed. Atropos does not think you are the problem. Atropos is just like, we need to find Cameron because possessed child roaming the streets is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have wizard cops.
Whew.
Oh, that's even worse than regular cops.
That
for
yeah,
real.
that's way worse than regular cops.
We're screwed, guys.
Right.
I had the worst matched failure, and we had 100, and we're bad at this game.
This is
Hey,
okay.
I'm
This is
doing
good.
pretty well. I have like pretty good successes.
You're doing great.
Yeah,
Also,
except for they're not on the things that, like, if you get caught, it's a problem.
Yeah, because Minerva has like.
can I
tactics.
interrupt everyone, please?
Yes.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. As you're leaving the hospital, you see this guy. You just kind of notice him. Can everyone see that? Is that up on the Twitch stream?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, wasn't he in the diner the other day, or was that the other guy?
That is a different guy.
Okay.
Okay, it didn't show up. It's Smoker 4 is the image that should be showing up. So, for if it's not showing up on screen, it's a guy in a sort of fleece jacket and a hoodie smoking. He's got a goatee. I'm not sure why it's not coming up on the stream, but we can work that out later. Okay. And then, so that's the first one. And as you are, I'm assuming, leaving Credit Card to go meet up with your people because they might need healing, right? You notice Smoker 3, that's this image, outside of Credit Card watching you, just kind of out of the corner of your eye.
This
Guys,
is
it's-
outside
Do
of
not
credit
like.
card.
We're drawing the ire of the invisible clergy. We're all going to be wiped off the face of the planet.
Yeah. So this is what I need to do first of all. I need to know, in terms of advancing our goal, what's our goal for next week?
Don't be at war with the committee.
I'm pretty sure it's too late.
Don't say that.
All right, how are you going to accomplish not being at war with the committee?
Help find Cameron.
So we're going to try to get Cameron back and return him to the committee. Is everyone on board with this, Adora?
I won't be here. You might want the person who's like more geared for fighting to be here. Just saying.
I mean, Minerva has a blast spell now.
Adora, are you on board with this?
Oh God, Adora hates it, but it's all their fault. They have to do it, right?
So
They don't have to.
So is that a yes?
Adora's been pressured into it, yes.
Okay, Elizabeth, are you good with that? Finding
Uh-huh.
Cameron as a sign of we're trying to help the committee?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So our goal next week is to try to find Cameron and not kill her and return her to the thing.
I should maybe research a spell that would rip the spirit soul out of.
All right, hold on.
I
I need guys, we're running out of time, so I need to walk through this. So let's see. So I've got the goal. I'm gonna look through the relationships real quick, and I'm gonna mod them real quick. Adora, do you think you increased Mara?
I don't. I
Okay,
think-
what about Bag Lady? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm in a rush.
No,
All
you're
right.
fine.
And what about Elizabeth?
Hmm?
Do you think you increased Elizabeth? I feel like you didn't.
Yeah,
That wasn't.
no.
That wasn't.
Definitely not.
I think that's all of the ones you might have increased. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And then Elizabeth, I think you might have increased Adora. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Adora, does that cool with you?
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry I'm in a rush. It's just I kind of let things go a little bit later because of the scenes, and so I got to do the bookkeeping quick. Mara, I
Yeah.
think these pretty much stay the same. Does that sound right?
Sounds about right.
And then Minerva, looks like it stays the same.
Yeah.
Then I think because we need to get off stream, I'm gonna handle the stat updating off stream if that's okay with everyone.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. And we're gonna be rating Lady Ari's channel after we're done here. So I think that's everything in terms of the bookkeeping for characters. Is there anything I'm forgetting, guys?
No.
All right, cool. So please stick around and raid Lady Ari's channel, and that will be that. So real quick, let's go around and talk about who we are, and we will be back next week to try to resolve this mess. I'm gonna pour more gasoline on the fire, though. I gotta warn you.
No.
Oh, fun.
I didn't mean to. I was waiting. I didn't expect this to happen this soon. I was
Failing miserably.
No, awakening, giving Stray a body.
I told you we'll derate it.
It's fine. It is not a problem. So let's go around and talk about who we are. Elizabeth, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hello. I play Elizabeth. It's me, Alexis, and on Twitter you can catch me under @GameSeizure.
Minerva, do you want to mention anything?
I'm Persephone. I've been playing Minerva. Can't really find me anywhere yet, but she might see me on YouTube soon. Maybe. We'll see.
Ooh.
Mara?
Hi, my name is Theater Nerd. I won't be here next week because I'll be playing 100 the video game. But then you'll get me for 3 weeks in a row, and they'll be planned 3 weeks in a row instead of the 2 weeks in a row you had me earlier. Otherwise, you can find me everywhere by my Twitter handle. Anywhere you see that, it's more than likely me. I'm also starting a podcast. Real life has struck, so I have like half of an episode. Or actually, that's not true. I have one episode basically recorded. But it needs a bunch of editing. But anyway, sorry. Best place to follow me is on Twitter.
All right, and then we have Adora.
Hi there. I'm Connie O. You can find me on Twitter at Connie O. Yeah. I do art and some other things, and yeah. See you later.
And I am Silent Ferrets. You can find me at 1000 Heads on Twitter, but instead, take a look at my itch page, silentferrets.itch.io, to find the games I designed. Some of them are really weird, such as one in which you are unjustly persecuted minority wizards on the run from an authoritarian government. I'm very proud of it, but it's very dark. And please check us out next week when we try to do a little bit better. And please stick around to Raid Lady Ari. Good night, or afternoon, or words.
Bye. Is what
Yeah, that one. Bye.
this was like.